Okay, let me get mine.
All right. So we are back with Miss Linda Bamber with WavWatch, and we're doing another exciting call with some of the amazing technology with this device. And Linda, I always like to start the call off just putting the watch on so people can see it. And basically, it's a watch that runs 1,000 frequencies into the wrist. It's super easy to use. And I'm going to try to put it up here close so you can see it, but you can basically just zip across, pick out anything you want, kids, pathogens, pain, organs, so many things that we can use this for. Today, we're going to talk weight loss. And Linda, it's great to see you. How you doing today?
I am I am just fine. It's always so fun to see you, and I love your futuristic background. Look at that. Look at you.
Yes, this is an actual spaceship which has landed in Richmond, Virginia. And we even have a cyborg over here. And we actually have multiple spaceship sets right now that I'm going to start shooting from because, the whole premise is that the future is here today. This is 2080 behind me. This is actual med bay right back here. You can't see it. I got a little bit of black light. It's not too highly visible, but it's literally a med bay, and if I back up here just a little bit, you'll see even more wave watches. But futuristic technology is here right now. So for people out there saying, "Hey, I'm waiting for med beds or whatever it is," something it's as small as this little watch and putting this on the wrist can really achieve literally thousands of different types of benefits. And Linda, there's literally thousands of testimonials of people that have gotten amazing results and amazing turnarounds from using this watch, and I'm one of them. And so, one thing actually that I'll share with you before we get into the weight loss is that I had a scan done and it went through my entire body. Now I focus on a lot of different things. For me personally, a lot of the men frequencies, which I'll kind of put it there, hair loss, which I run, mouth, teeth, and gums. I've run a lot of the dental. That's always helped me. Kidney stones, so many different things. But then after that scan, it said that my pancreas and stomach, and there was a few parts of my body that were not in ideal condition. Guess what? They're all on the watch. So now I'm running all those frequencies and I'm like going, because, externally we can gauge certain things that are not good or good or whatever it is. But internally, sometimes there's stuff that we don't know that's going on. And so the watch now for me has taken on a whole nother reality because, recently I got some work done and found that there's probably some other parts of the body that need some attention. So thank you for creating this device. Thank you for all the good in the world that it's doing. And weight loss is, I learned a lot about weight loss actually. The weight loss frequencies. Now we're going to talk about those, but I think you've got information on viruses or different things that are out there that might make it tougher to lose weight. And the weight loss, in fact, let me just go into that because I run this a lot and I do need to lose more weight. I mean, recently I'm getting back on a good roll, hitting the gym, working out, but sometimes that work-life balance, it can be a little bit too much work and not enough focusing on the maintaining good health. But for anybody that's out there, so what I'm doing once again is I'm just going to scroll over. I'm going to go to weight, 23 frequencies for weight. So I can go to all those and we can scroll down. Linda will go through those today. But with that being said, Linda, talk to us about the Wave Watch and weight loss.
Well, I was actually looking for some testimonies because I know I've gotten some, and people were have been using it. I'm not saying it's 100% perfect, but I know I've gotten some testimonies for 10 and 15 pounds weight loss. And then I thought I had one for 50 pounds and I was looking for it. So I can't say that it's for sure because I couldn't find that testimony and I don't want to exaggerate. But what I'm saying is that people are trying it and they want to use it because it's safe. Don't you think frequencies are safe?
Absolutely.
That's kind
Absolutely.
of the understatement. These are acoustical frequencies, and you are listening to them like little songs. They do sound like bee buzzes if you listen to them, but your body is absorbing them through the wrist. So you don't have to hear anything. It's just absorbed, especially through the skin. And then the bones actually, conduct frequencies, just zip, zip, zip. So you are not needing to have your mind on listening to anything at all. You're just wearing the product, and hopefully things are happening. And that's so important, to be able to just relax and just let something move through your system. And I think this, again, is safe because it's acoustical, and people are not really kind of cluing into the safety of it. If you can't listen to a song, if your doctor tells you you've got a problem and you can't listen to music anymore, then you shouldn't wear the WavWatch. Now,
Right.
I'm a former school teacher, so I could say out there, raise your hand if you've been told you can't listen to music. That's not going to
Right.
happen. That's not a problem. So therefore, I consider this fairly safe. I can't say 100%, but that's the neat part about it. Where with some of the weight loss products that are out there, this is not the case. So are we ready to go ahead and jump into that?
Let's do it.
Show some light.
I think I set up screen share for you, so it should be all ready to
Okay.
go.
Okay. So see where I am here. Okay. So can you see my screen now?
I can, yes.
Okay. So what we really want to emphasize is without drugs, because that's a problem that we are definitely seeing, is so many people are taking drugs and maybe they don't know that there's something safer out there like frequencies. And so, of course, when I talk about this product, I want to let you know that it's acoustical frequencies and that it should be safe. We're not trying to diagnose anything. We are just saying this is a self-care product, and we want to try to maintain or encourage good health. And it's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent. It's self-care. And if you're interested in changing your weight, if you have a headache. So that's what we're talking about when we say self-care. It's not a licensed medical product. Acoustical frequencies are experimental. Isn't that interesting? They've been around, basically since the beginning of time, but they're still experimental. And it's not an FDA approved medical device at all. And we do use the names of diseases, I guess is the way to say it, in relation to the sound frequencies, but it's not a medical diagnosis. You are recognizing that you might have been diagnosed with something and looking up that frequency for it. We are not diagnosing you. Pretty important information to know so that we can uh, uh, have the safety of our product. And
Yep.
so then this is kind of what it looks like. And I think this little image needs updated a little bit more. The battery life is longer than 6 hours. It's what do you think? 12 to 18? Some of them are
Minimum. Like
20
I'm
hours.
still running. It's a 1:30 out here. I've been running it since last night when I went to bed. And it's
Yes.
so funny because I we were talking before the call. I literally have this thing on and forget I'm even wearing it, number one. But number two, I'm like, I've been running that frequency for an extended period of time. And it's like, okay, let's go in and change it up to something else. So once you have this thing on, it's just so easy. You just go about your daily routine. You don't have to really, take a lot of time to figure it out. It's just super easy to punch stuff in.
And we've kind of already explained that you're absorbing the frequencies and they zip through your body almost at 4.3 times the speed of sound, is what they've kind of calculated, because our bodies are water. And so obviously frequencies are going to move through them faster. Okay. So you can go to my website, wavewatch.com, if you're interested, and you click on reviews. And this is what you'll see. you can make another click and it will show you all of the videos that I've made, that teach about using the WavWatch. And this is one we're working on right now, is weight loss, So this video will be saved and you can see it. But there are about 80 topics if you wanted to learn and educate. And I consider myself an educator. I was a former teacher. And I think that's been my passion, is to let people know that we really need to be more responsible for our bodies. Don't you think, Sean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are kind of into that mode of take a pill and forget about it, take a pill and go to bed. But that's really not what we need to be doing. We need to know how our body works a little bit more. And so that was my emphasis on, creating some of these videos. And then you can see frequencies, on it here. And then you can see video reviews of people that have used the WavWatch too, just by another click. So that might be of interest to some of you who might be interested in purchasing the product and want to learn more about it, So this is basically what Sean has been showing you. There are 1,000 selections. There's 3 swipe screens. We're showing you one right here. There's 2 others. There's 4 ways to repeat a frequency. And you have the ability to create 3 playlists, although I've basically created about 80 other playlists for you so that you can use those. And again, it's not necessary to hear. So I've got a little bit of a video, and it really doesn't have much sound. It's just kind of showing you how to touch it. So we'll just see how that goes. Could you hear that bee buzz, Sean?
I did not hear it, but it's so
I didn't know
user
if you,
friendly. I mean, that's a great little
yeah,
video.
I didn't know if you could hear it or not, but so anyway, that's the whole idea, is just to show you that it's really easy. You're just touching some buttons and moving it around. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the ease of working with it. And some people use it, it's more user friendly for some people than others, I guess is the way to say it. So I always like to laugh and say, well, if you are, having trouble moving through some of the screens, just ask a grandchild, just ask a teenager, just ask a 9-year-old.
Exactly.
They know all about this stuff, don't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So don't forget, we've got 1,000 sound frequencies, and that's what makes it a unique tool, is that I am a person who likes a bargain. I am a person who likes to give you things also. And I decided, by just looking at a few ideas that were out there, that we could do so much more, because there is a frequency for everything. So I tried to pack as many frequencies onto this watch as I could to give you the most bang for the buck. I mean, seriously, there's a little tool out there that you wear on your wrist, and it makes a sound, and it's to protect you from bug bites, isn't it? Have you seen that one, Sean?
I have not seen the bug bite
Yeah.
one. No.
Yeah. And it is so it's mosquito repel is what I call it. And so I have that frequency on here plus 999 other frequencies. Or you can buy this little contraption. It's, I'm not showing you that, but you can buy another contraption that has 1 frequency on it for mosquito repel. Now, how many little tools do you want to buy? Don't you want to buy the one that has the most bang for your buck, that has the most frequencies on it? So that's what you're
Absolutely.
looking at when you start looking at products, is trying to find the best ones that you can with the most frequencies.
What
Are you
what
satisfied?
category? What category is that bug bite and mosquito one under?
It's in self-care, and
Self-care.
then,
Okay.
yeah, and then it's in bites, bites and
Perfect.
stings.
I'll
Yep.
be on it. I'm doing a lot of hiking in the woods.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are starting to, give me comments that, hey, if they go outside and have a picnic, they just set somebody's watch on the table and they actually let it make a sound so that it can protect everybody at the table, so you've got a little mosquito repel tool with you right there.
Love that.
I don't know whether we want to read these testimonies or not, Sean. Like I said, I was looking for some weight loss ones, but I got stuck on these because they're really kind of exciting, you know. Um, this lady said,
So
"I'm
many.
bursting at the seams. I received my WavWatch 3 days ago. I was hoping to get uh, some relief with my grief and to help me sleep. About a month ago, I was diagnosed with. Do you know what this is, Sean?
I know
Dequervain's. Yeah, look at that word. That
I
word,
have
I
not seen
promise
that.
you. Yes, that is not on that medical technical term is not on the Wave Watch. But there are so many frequencies for muscle pain and tendonitis and that kind of thing. She played a variety of them. And guess what? You know, it
Slept through the
went
night.
away. Yeah, she
And
slept
the
through the
pain's
night,
reduced by 75%. You know what I
55%.
love about that testimony is that she used multiple frequencies, right? She kind of
Mhm.
went in and used her intuition. So she ran the Bach remedies, which I'm not even familiar with those, but that's all in there. The pain, inflammation, and the sleep. So like her own intuition kind of guided her through a multiple different approach. And the results obviously speak for themselves. How exciting.
You know, and I think that's really kind of neat that, you know, she ordered it for that reason. And if she, you know, asked me about it or asked somebody in my team, we would have said, well, we don't have a frequency for that specific condition. But guess what? We had a frequency that worked. And that's what it is. There are so many frequencies that kind of overlap. They might be in the muscle idea or they might be in the, you know, pain category, but she found something that worked. And that's the hope of the Wave Watch is that there's enough there that you can cover the basis on a lot of different ideas. And then another easy one was I love the Wave Watch. It has helped with headaches, knee, shoulder, and wrist pain from decades of sports. It has also helped my blood pressure and asthma. It's great. So, so many things that you can use it for. That makes it kind of fun.
Exciting. I know a lot of people use it for headaches. And a lot of people, actually, one of the guys I work with wears it for muscle spasms and back pain. And
Mhm.
he's moving around a lot better. He's an older guy. He's a military veteran, disabled military veteran, actually. And he swears by it. And he's honestly, Linda, he's one of those people that kind of poo-pooed it a little bit. He's like, "Hey, what do you guys got? What is that? How does that work?" And he works here with us. So after like 4 or 6 weeks, we said, "You got to try this." And he's tried it. And he has it on 7/24 now. He wears it constantly, which is kind of
Right.
funny. It's actually great. I love it.
You know, I have some, you know, I call it a watch. It is a little bit bigger. It's a, you know, it's a self-care tool. And I do have some responses from people saying, "Oh, it's too big. I'd never wear that," you know. But if you get in pain, you're going to try something, you know. And so we are trying to get it just a little bit smaller. And then what do you bet? I'll have people say, "Oh, it's too small. I can't read all the choices." You know,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
never an in
exactly.
between. So
Never.
anyway, it is a tool. So, you know, expect to have a tool on your wrist. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, anything else that you want to comment on just in general before I start
Well,
just kind of?
Well, I mean, I just want to go back to the fact that I personally, we're going to talk today about weight loss. Weight loss is one of them. But I've had really good results with enlarged prostate, hair. I run the hair frequency. I can literally feel my hair tingling, and I do have hair, and it's pretty decent. But I want to keep it thick, right? I don't really want to wait for it to start getting thin and go, oh, now I got to do that. And I've had at least, so it's been about a year and a half, and I've used it at least 2 or 3 times for teeth pain or gums or something. And I swear, I literally forget that I even had it after like 1 or 2 days of wearing it and running those frequencies. It's not even in my conscious mind anymore. I literally go, okay, well, that was bothering me, but it's not, so I don't need it any longer. But I would say there's probably 15, 20, maybe 30. And the funny thing is I keep finding more and more and more. And I have so many people now that we've sold the watch to that, we have all these amazing testimonials of people. One that I'm going to share with you real quick, and then we'll go to weight loss is Morgellons. And Morgellons, I don't know a lot about it. Like I know there's a guy named Gene Decode who I used to listen to a lot, and Gene had a lot of problems, and he went through this real extensive protocol where you'd have to get a certain formula in a bathtub and you'd have to put something in there and then you'd have to put alfalfa because whatever the organisms are that are in the body would prefer to go into the alfalfa, and then there'd be this huge detox where you'd have to rinse yourself off and all that. I've got
And the
pictures of a woman
bathtub.
in the
Don't forget the
bathtub, right?
bathtub.
The bathtub, that's exactly right. That's where you'd formulate all this and put the alfalfa, and literally pictures of whatever the Morgellons is, like parasites or whatever it is, literally falling and coming completely out of the skin. And it was shocking to see. Like there's actually, it was a woman, there's a picture of her bra, and she's literally got these white parasites, whatever it was that was moving through her, is literally jumping out of her body and dying. And I mean, it's intense. I mean, that's really intense. Um, but now I'm 58, so I just like to throw that out there. Now that I've seen just an overall 1 through 10 ranking of just my body itself, pancreas, kidneys, liver, everything now is going to get a run. And that's not that even some of it's not even like the kidney and liver are perfectly fine, but I'm going to start doing a lot more maintenance and sending that sound frequency and just getting the liver to dance and sing once a week. And like it's really opening up the fact that it's a general maintenance technology that wants to keep everything healthy. If you're watching this and you've got issues going on, obviously it's going to be a technology that you would want to at least give a shot, right? Because the people that were and if you understand the physics of it, really, because I don't even the physics of it is just very simple. Every cell in your body resonates at a frequency, and there's certain frequencies that make those cells dance and sing. And for certain things like this, whatever this Morgellons is, it's very it doesn't like it at all, and it basically knocks it out. So with
Right.
that being said, yeah, we can.
And just to throw this into that idea came from Tesla, back in the 1890s, 1900s, when he was working on all these frequencies and things. And he calls it the mortal oscillation rate. And what we know today is, we all know about an opera singer can sing a high note and break a glass. Well,
Right.
that's the mortal oscillation rate. And so we have libraries basically on the WavWatch of the mortal oscillation rate for Morgellons, for Lyme disease, for Ehrlichia, for the list goes on for hundreds of ideas. And so we have found the resonant frequency, and it's just not, I'm not saying, I shouldn't have said we, but people have found, and that's what the WavWatch is giving to you, is that mortal oscillation rate. So that when you wear it, it's meeting with a similar frequency. And if, because that frequency is in your body, and when those two frequencies meet, they will oscillate and, self-amplify, just like a glass. And we've simplified that. We actually don't know that it's the mortal oscillation rate coming from Tesla, as far as I'm understanding.
Yeah, Tesla, but Tesla, Rife, Likovsky, all those people,
Mhm.
well over 100-year-old technology, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
this is we're getting like the Star Trek version, which is a nice little watch, right? But back in the day when they were running those frequencies, they had those oscillators, those massive things. And with modern technology, we're able to take the work that they did and then consolidate it down to very small little devices that are very effective, very efficient, that build on the knowledge base that they developed over 100 years ago. It's great to give credit to where a lot of this stuff is coming from.
Definitely. I really appreciate all their work. It was totally amazing. So, and we could talk a lot more about how it was, hidden and not made available to us, but now we are using it. So that's the way watch. Hey,
Highway of stuff. And I think for the most part, there's a certain population base that's just looking for alternative options. I think that the general public, especially probably in our age group, has kind of seen a lot of that come and go through the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years. and now is looking for alternative options and really starting to get a basic understanding of some other technology that's available and how it works. Um, and actually, when you get into the watch, because like I was talking earlier, I'm going back to the weight loss. There are 23 frequencies, I believe, that are for weight loss. And the ones that I really like, well, I like all of them. I run the whole file because uh, it's an in-depth file. And the first one that you're starting with, of course, they're in alphabetical order, is the one that is with addictions. And so I know it's really tiny, but you can kind of see there. But there's one that I wanted to talk to you about, which is the an adrenal balance, because when the adrenals are all messed up, that throws off your metabolism, and throws off a lot of other stuff. But this adenovirus, what can you tell us about adenovirus? Because there's two sets of frequencies on there, and that was something I really wasn't too familiar with. But that's how comprehensive the weight loss is. It's not like a weight loss frequency. It's 23 frequencies that are basically, have been segmented for the weight loss category.
Mhm. And so on that one, basically the adenovirus, they say they have found that in about 30% of the people who are overweight and obese. So why wouldn't you want something that can use the mortal oscillation rate and try to clean that out of your system so that that could help you lose weight, And so all of those other ideas, they have to be balanced in our body. We can't just have a body that's out of balance and it's not going to work correctly. So a lot of those ideas are to get every area in your body that helps with weight loss in balance.
Right.
So, and I've
Now,
got them on a screen. I think
yeah,
I'm going to show one more slide here, and then I think
okay.
I'm done. But this is just in my mind, Sean. Look at this. They have been working with snake venoms, and a century ago, they thought a venom might have 3 or 4 components. And now they're finding out that one venom can have thousands of components. And have they studied that before they put that in these drugs? How many side effects, how many reactions could be people be having because there's thousands of components. And now it's gotten so wild that they actually have a whole new um, field called venomics, if I'm saying that right, venomics, venomics, venomics. Isn't that ridiculous? So
It
now we
is.
have a field just to study snake venom. And so please, again, please, 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 that's my whole scenario there. Be careful what you're taking. So does that
Yeah,
help you, Sean? I
it
just
helps a lot.
that just blew my mind. So here's a way to do it is to use the resonant frequencies that we've been talking about that have that mortal oscillation rate for viruses, parasite bacteria, that kind of thing. And then they can rebalance different organ systems and things. So that's what the WavWatch is all about. So let's see. Here is the playlist that you've been talking about,
Beautiful.
Sean.
Love
So here
that.
it is. So these are all of the things, and all you have to do is just find the icon that's labeled weight, and you touch it, and it opens up and it gives you all of these choices. Now, please don't pick through. I just kind of, told you that all of these have to be working, in balance in our system. So you just, open it up to the first one, click a button, and it plays through all of them, right, Sean? How
Yep.
hard is
That's
that?
exactly what I do. I play the entire playlist, and it's really good to see how much stuff, the emotional eating and the Bach combo, that is a big problem, is emotional eating. Um,
Mhm.
and now you've got multiple different fat burns, you got liver and kidney detox. I was just talking about running those frequencies as just a maintenance, but you're automatically getting that done. And then it gets into limps and detox. I mean, that is a very, very well balanced overall program right there. Weight loss modulated, weight loss organ balance. I mean, that is just, if you're looking for weight loss and weight loss frequencies, that is probably one of the most comprehensive lists of frequencies that I've ever seen. And that's what I loved. You just put it on, hit send, and now I'm back on the computer typing, or I'm walking through the woods, or whatever it is. I let that run just while I'm going through my daily routine.
People will say, well, do I play fat burn one or fat burn two or fat burn? And it's like, play them all. They're different frequencies, you know.
Yeah.
And so maybe the best way to describe that is we know that viruses mutate. You know, there's different frequencies for a different virus. So it's the same way with fat burn or anything that's labeled 1, 2, 3 on the WavWatch. They're just different frequencies. And so you
Right.
want to play them all and give your body the best chance it can to clear those out. Now, ladies, if I can have some fun with you, try tummy tuck and put that one on a loop all night long. Play the weight loss, you know, several times, play through all the ideas. But if you want to isolate one, do the tummy tuck and measure yourself before you go to bed or before you know, play it, and then put it on like an 8-hour loop and then remeasure yourself. We've had some really fun testimonies on that. And I know myself, I lost 3 inches in one night or one, you know, time
Oh,
period. I'm not saying that it stayed off, but you know, it did go away and I was able to get into a dress that I wanted to get into, you know. So that makes it kind of fun. But the rest of them, you know, play them all, you know, loop through the whole thing. So, and I think
yeah.
you know, it's just a way to do a variety of ideas that could be affecting your balance with weight. And people
Yeah.
are not realizing. Go ahead.
And that goes into what I was talking about earlier with processed food. There's a lot of stuff in there that's very addicting in the ingredients. So food addictions are actually very common. And in some cases, the food can be as addicting as drugs are because your body is getting that stimulation or it's getting that, that boost or whatever it is that I can't think of the exact word right this second, but you're basically stimulating the body with all these foods to the point where it's becoming addicting. And normally speaking, it's not the ideal food that you should be eating.
That's right. Usually, if it's something you're craving it, you know, for a negative reason. You know,
Yeah.
it's got something
Yeah.
negative. That's really a true statement. So this is a beginning idea for weight loss. And then if you want to, you know, do a little bit more work, you know, play all the frequencies 2 to 3 times a day. And then, you know, think about it, you know, watch your diet. And everybody has a different kind of a diet or something different they could do. You know, you can cut your calories, you can change to keto, you can do a Mediterranean or other diet. Make sure you're drinking lots of water, you know, and
Huge.
you know, that makes it pretty simplistic. It's not saying that you should starve yourself to death or do any special diet. It's just saying use common sense. You're trying to lose weight, you know. Do you
And
have a
and it
favorite
never
diet
hurt.
or anything that you would do when you're running the frequencies?
Well, I'll tell you, when I run the frequencies, one of the things I like to do is do a walk. Like I like to run the frequencies while I'm walking. So a lot of times I'm outside in the woods doing that. If I'm at the gym, I'm on the treadmill. But I do find that I really like to run a lot of those frequencies while I'm working out, while I'm at the gym. Sometimes at night, it's nice to run those. I think the last time we spoke, I always run the parasite cleanse at night because I want to cycle that through and then, get everything out in the morning. But I do find that using them, playing them while I'm working out seems to give me an extra boost because the goal is to ultimately be multifaceted where you're getting a little bit of exercise, you're eating right, and you're using the watch. I mean, the watch does not mean you run this frequency and you sit home with a bag of Cheetos on your desk and, watch TV. So
You
people say,
said
well,
it
does it work?
perfectly.
Right? It's like this does not mean free bags of Cheetos. I don't have to do anything. But I will say that if you can incorporate that in with a moderate exercise routine and just start making those modifications, I will say that if you're getting a really good diet and you're focusing on that high nutrients and the watch, it really does seem to cut back on the food addictions. So there's certain things that my body would crave that are probably not good for me. I do find that those cravings have really cut back. I have a lot more, I wouldn't say necessarily willpower, but I just don't have that that pushing me towards stuff that it's like I just really shouldn't be eating it. So that for me has also been something that's been very beneficial.
Perfect. I just love the way you say things. It's not giving you free rein to sit and eat Cheetos, you know? Think about it. You're trying to lose weight. Now, one other idea that I don't think I expand on, in a slide, but if you know your thyroid's out of balance, if you're working on your thyroid, also go to that thyroid area and play through the thyroid frequencies just to support it even more, or
Yes.
if you have, you've been told something about your pancreas, go to the pancreas area and work with that a little bit more, or the liver area, or if you have hormone problems, you're going through menopause and you're gaining weight, also go to the hormone area for women or for men. So there are some other things that you can do. If you have been, especially, you have problems with detoxing, then go to the detox folder. And those are some outside things that you can do. But this folder is really pretty encompassing and enough to get you started and to make some great changes if you try. And it's not going to happen overnight. We're talking about a 2 to 3 week period to, really see some differences. So,
Yeah.
and it could be different
And
in everybody,
exactly. And
definitely.
yeah, it's all lifestyle, and anytime anybody asks me anything, now the thing I do like is you know, you do see improvement through certain things. For me, most of the time it's relatively quick. But when we're getting back to Tesla and all these brilliant people, they never did anything less than 90 days. So 90 days is sort of a standard protocol time that you'll see with a lot of the older scientists that we really have a lot of respect for. But, in all honesty, Linda, for me, it's just a lifestyle. It's not, I'm not even on a time clock saying how fast or how quick. I'm just
Yeah.
doing it. And 90% of the time, like I was saying, like the enlarged prostate, I hate to keep getting back to that, but there's a lot of men that are really dealing with a lot of issues with that. There's a lot of information coming out that a lot of it perhaps is being caused by these microplastic particles. And
Yes.
that microplastic, they're just finding now because the microplastics were so small they couldn't see them in a microscope. Now they have technology. And of course, you got a moron like me running around thinking that BPA-free containers are, the next best thing. And it turns out those are probably the worst culprits for releasing these microplastics. And so, it's the same thing. I mean, Linda, at my age, you still remember the day when they said cigarettes were good. Then I remember,
Yes.
oh, don't eat butter, eat margarine. And it's been one thing after the other that it's been, oh, now, it's so, I'm to the point now where whatever they say, I probably am going to do the opposite because I've just seen this play itself out so many times. But ultimately, it's, lifestyle, living a healthy life is layers of doing the right thing, getting good sleep,
Mhm.
eating well. You touched on drinking water. I really have started to put a conscious effort into that, to do a better job of doing that. But, the other part of it is getting the most benefit for the least amount of money, incorporating stuff into your life that can help give you a little bit of a kickstart. And the watch for me has helped in so many different ways. Just me personally, like I don't really, whatever anybody else has to say about it is all well and good because we're all different. We all use it for different reasons. But I wear it every day because it works. I wear it every day because it works for me. And everybody in our office that has one wears it because whether they're kids that are in their 20s and they're using it, we've got young people that work here and they use it for one thing or another. Or, my other buddy who works here who's had muscle spasms, who's a military vet, there's PTSD. I mean, there's just so many things you can use it for, but when it's all said and done, um, it just offers so much value, and it really goes to a core technology, which is sound frequency. I mean, Tibetan monks and generations and generations of people have obviously found that this is very powerful and very beneficial. And so, when you get down to the physics of it, like you explained very well with the glass, there's a certain frequency that's going to shatter that glass. You can shatter cells. You can also stimulate cells, right? You can stimulate
Mhm.
them and get them
That's
to
right.
enhance their energy levels. And so, this is a no-brainer. I mean, this is really a no-brainer. But it's always great, Linda, having you on the calls because as the inventor, and I know there's some very personal stories tied into things that led for the development of this. This is something that everybody can wear at any time. I mean, I've had kids put this on because they had the flu, because they've had bug bites. I've had kids wearing these, even a lot of the 20-year-olds are wearing them now because of, everything, but a lot of headache stuff, weight loss. I mean, there's just so much in there, specific frequencies for women, specific frequencies for men, and just all the maintenance stuff. So if you're out there watching this and you're seeing the video, you do get $100 discount. So you can go online, you can order the watch, and start experiencing the benefits of this and start enhancing your life and um, take advantage of this amazing technology.
I think you summed it up. That was that was great.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
there's so
really
much
fun
stuff
to see
out.
some of the testimonies pouring in. It really
It
is.
really is. It really is. And they don't stop. And the thing is that there's been so many of them, so many that I actually have to like kind of think through and go, what did I hear in the last 2 or 3 days? Because, over time, there's been so many that have come in for so many different things. And, I've mentioned a lot of my own, like I have my own personal ones, so for me, it's a lot
Mhm.
of my personal journey because I feel like, guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and 70s, and even 80s or 90s, we're all dealing with a lot of the same stuff, hair thinning out. Oh, I got a toothache. Oh, just all these normal things. But this is about maintenance. It's about staying healthy. It's not necessarily always going, wow, I got a flat tire. I better start throwing frequencies at that. Let's
Yeah.
just keep air in the tires. Let's keep the oil change. Let's keep the body, in good functioning order. And let's avoid, having the engine blow up. I mean, it's kind of common sense in a way. But I think that in this day and age, people are starting to understand that it's worth taking the time to maintain good health and being grateful that you have good health and saying, wow, what are the things I can do? Good nutrients, good clean food, maybe eating a little better, maybe this, maybe that. Trying to do whatever you can with what abilities you do have, whether it's walking or staying active at whatever level you can and trying to push that and raise it to new levels. So, for me, the watch is a 365-day a year technology, 24 hours a day. And as you touched on at the beginning, you know, for me on average, 12 to 18 hours is what I'm getting for the battery life. And um 30 to 45 minutes, if I don't, I have one of those
To
power
charge it.
chargers. So it just boom, and it's like, okay, here we go. Boom, let's get it back on and let's get back on the computer. Let's jump in the car, got to run. So, with that being said, Linda, thank you so much for everything you do. Before we wrap up this call, is there anything you'd like to finish off with?
No, I just appreciate all the information that you share, Sean. It's just amazing. And you're as passionate about it the way watch as I am. So thank you very,
I,
very
I
much.
love
You are
it.
sharing
I
and
love it.
sharing the ideas.
Yeah, I love it. And I think of it. This is why we're here in a spaceship. This is why I'm sitting next to my buddy here who doesn't need the watch because he's a cyborg. We grew up in the Star Trek era, right? Where it was like the future was being presented to us and Captain Kirk's on his flip phone and, the whole thing, right? But that day and age is here now. Like there is technology here now that you can wear a little tiny watch that even Scotty, or Leonard Nimoy, who was Spock, even they would be back in the day typing that in. If I was a kid watching that, I'm like, I want one of those. And that stuff is here now. So, the goal is to live a healthy life. The goal is to stay ahead of stuff going wrong. But when that does go wrong, addressing it with sound frequency in addition to whatever else you do is a very healthy option, alternative, and maybe in some cases. So, Linda, thank you so much for once again sharing your time, all your knowledge, which is so grateful. And we will look forward to catching up with you again here on another
Thanks.
call very shortly.
Thank you.
So stay with me. I'm going to just go ahead and sign off this call, and we'll chat for a minute, and I'll let you go.
Sure.